Hey guys, Markus here from ml-records.de. Today is a new video, perhaps a pretty long video, I don't know yet. And I've decided to do this video also in English to reach more people and give more tips and hints for mixing music.
Meine Freunde sind viel cooler als du denkst.
To sound like this.
Meine Freunde sind viel cooler als du denkst.
Okay, let's get into it. Okay guys, so here's the session of the song. I'm going through it now so you can see not so many tracks. We have two guitars, one left, one right, playing the same, and also an overdub guitar playing left and right as well, these ones. We got a little solo right here, and we got some vocal tracks, and that's all. And yeah, let's go right into it. So, let's focus at first on the rhythm guitars. I've recorded it with an Austrian Audio OC818 and also with an biodynamic M160 at the same time. So we've got two tracks for one guitar. Sounds like this. So, okay, yeah. Let's hear with and without the EQ. Let's start. So you can hear directly it is pretty clean, and all these frequencies that are pretty annoying are pretty far away now, so it's more likely to hear. I've done a pretty same move for the M160 here. You can see almost the same frequencies. I've got it around 200. I've got a dip around 600, and also I've found the M160 a little annoying in the top end. This is pretty much because the point where the 160 was facing was pretty far away from the sound hole of the guitar. Yeah, and I have also added the M160 to the OC818 about -10 dB. Yeah, same for the guitar on the right, cause it was recorded with the same guitar, the same player, the same place he played, and the same mics, so I could copy this. And then I've routed these guitars, or this one to the left and this one to the right, two group channels over here, and I've done some more processing here. So I've added a multiband compressor, yeah, a multiband compressor around 200. Yeah, you can see it here how it is reacting. Can hear it's not jumping out. The 200 region is not jumping out anymore. I've added another EQ right here around 100. It's a dynamic EQ. As you can see, it's not always reacting, just on some notes, and it was also some notes I've noticed were pushing out too much, so I've decided to go with a dynamic EQ on this one. Then I've added some compression with the LA3A here. You can see not so much, around 1 dB of gain reduction. And I've added an escalator that is a plugin that is adding some overtones and making it a little thicker. Yeah, I've removed them, and let's check out with and without the processing. So it's a little thinner, but that's totally okay, cause that what makes it thick in my ears wasn't really pleasant. Okay, and I've done the same thing for the other side of the acoustic guitar track. I've also routed these two groups here to a main group for my acoustic guitars, and I've added an SSL EQ with a little boost around half a dB at, what is it, 5K, 4K, and a little boost with 1 dB at 600 to give the mid-range back a little bit, and also dipped out again at around 200. Yeah, we can also check it. That's pretty subtle, but it gives back the mid-range again. So, what else have I done? We have the overdub guitar. It's this one right here. Sounds like this. So you can hear it's not playing the deep stuff, more the overdub in the higher range. So I've focused, oh no, let's start with the guitars right here. Yeah, I've pulled out the low end and also dipped here around 200 and 400. 400 was for these parts more the ringy, boxy stuff, and also these 200. I'm pretty sure these frequency around 200 is primary from the resonances in the room. I'm not sure, could also be the guitar. It's all this, all these tracks are with the same guitar, could also be the guitar. I'm not sure about that. I will find out soon. Yeah, same for the M60, same settings here, roll off the low end, 200 dip, 400 dip. Also, same kind of game with the balance, the OC818 at 0 and the M100 at -5. Same for the right side. And same kind of a game. I've routed both microphones to one group, left and right, and processed here furthermore. Also EQ, another dip at 200, another dip at 600, and a little boost at 4K to pop out a little more for the overdubs that are played. Got the multiband compression also at 200, just in case. Got the LA3A again. Let's see. You can see subtle compression, and also added the escalator. Pretty good plugin. Can recommend this a lot. And same for the right side, left side, same as the right side, and routed them both in another group for the overdub guitar. Let's see what we have done here. Here's another dip at 500, and also the SSL EQ. Same game here. Boost a little bit at 400 Hertz, around, yeah, not even a dB. Same here, boost at 4K, 1.5K, and also dip a dB at 270. Yeah, let's see what this is doing. Yeah, pretty subtle move, but for my ears it was necessary to boost these frequencies, even if it's not even a dB. Okay, let's go on with the solo guitar. We've got the solo right over here. Let's listen to it. Okay, let's see what I've done to these guitars. Nothing on the tracks themselves. They're equally, they're panned in the middle and they're equally balanced. And I've routed them to another group, and that group has a EQ. So almost the same things as for the other guitars. Here's a little rumbling going on, the dip at 200, also dipped here around the mid-range a lot, and also I think this was an annoying frequency, and also rolled off the extreme higher end. So here's another EQ. I think this was a little more surgical. Yeah, this was a little more surgical to get rid of some annoying frequencies and boost some top end or around 2K to cut through the mix better. I've got an optical compressor on here. Let's see how much he's doing. Yeah, he's doing about 3 dB of gain reduction to have the solo more in place and not for some notes to fall off of the mix. I've also added a delay here, and again some EQ. I think this was necessary to boost again out of the mix to have it more focused. So these are everything I've done to the guitars, except for some reverb. I've added some reverb to the guitar, some vintage reverb, and also I've cut around the frequencies that are also pretty annoying in the mid-range. Also in the reverb, I've cut a lot of low end and high end as well to give it a more shaped reverb that is not rumbly or not pushing the extreme highs. Yeah, that was all about the guitars. Let's go to the vocals. Going to show you the vocals in solo. Let's see. Here's some vocals.
Sind wir ein klein wenig anders als ihr, ohne Scheiß, das...
So you can hear it's a song in German from my punk band Skip to Friday. I recommend checking them out. We are going to release our new album at the 5th of May. And also we've released the first single. Check it out. It's called Skip to Friday. The song is called Introvertiert. Yeah, let's see what we've done or what I've done with the vocals. At first I added the C6. It's a multiband compression that is also giving some shape. You can see the higher frequencies and the highs. I've already boosted a little bit by 1.5 to 2, about 2.5 dB. You can see it's also reacting to make the vocals more controlled. Forgot to mention, we've recorded the vocals also with the OC818 and with my hardware distressor in opto mode with about 10 dB of gain reduction. You can hear it. It's I've also added the distortion to the distressor, and it's adding a lot of distortion in some louder parts, but that's pretty much okay for this song, I guess. It's not that poppy, it's a little bit more, it's got a little bit more punk vibe to it, and I liked it. Yeah.
Sind wir ein klein wenig anders als ihr, ohne
Now you can see the multiband compression is already reacting. So then I've added some EQ. This is also a pretty surgical EQ to get rid of some frequencies I didn't like in the vocals. Let's see with before and after.
Sind wir ein klein wenig anders als ihr, ohne Scheiß, das ist doch noch kein Anlass.
So you can hear that without the EQ it's a little muffled, it's nasally, and with the EQ it's pretty more upfront, it's more clear, and you don't got the rumble in the low end. Yeah. Then I've added a little de-esser.
Sind wir ein klein wenig anders als ihr, ohne Scheiß, das ist doch noch kein Anlass.
So you can see it's reacting on the sibilants. I've added another compressor. So as you can see, the vocals are already pretty much compressed. So pretty constant, but I think you can't overdo compression on vocals, and I wanted to bring it more up front, so I added a 1176 clone from Black Rooster. I love this plugin, pretty cool.
Sind wir ein klein wenig anders als ihr, ohne
So it's about 7 dB of gain reduction, but always use your ears. This compressor is also very aggressive, so 7 dB is pretty much on this one. And then I added again a multiband compressor at about 200. Also had the feeling that these frequencies are pushing out too much. Then I've added another EQ around 2K. Didn't know what it does. Let's see.
Sind wir ein klein wenig anders als ihr, ohne Scheiß, das ist doch noch kein Anlass.
It was still a little nasally. Is it a word in English? Nasally? I don't know. I don't care. You know what I mean. You can hear it. So, and then I've added another de-esser.
Sind wir ein klein wenig anders als ihr, ohne Scheiß, das ist doch noch...
You can see it's reacting, it's not reacting pretty often, just in case to get all the sibilants. And then I've added the L1 limiter to assure that no peaks are pushing out of the mix.
Sind wir ein klein wenig anders als ihr, ohne...
You can see it's about 2 to 3 dB of gain reduction here. Can't hear it, but gives you some safety. So I've done almost the same for every other track. I've got the main vocal in the middle. I've also added some special vocals here. These are some delays.
Noch kein Anlass, uns nicht zu verstehen, denn glaube mir...
Yeah, just to fill in the gaps between the singing. And then we've recorded doubles for the same vocals, so it's pretty much the same and also treated the same.
Noch kein Anlass, uns nicht zu verstehen, denn glaube mir, oh...
I've just added it in some parts to give it more to give it more room. You can see the doubles are penned pretty far out, 80% left, 80% right. Also treated the same way, but instead of the fat compressor, I've only added the optical compressor and finished it off with an auto-tune plugin with about 60%, just to get sure that if some tones are constant, they are constant and not moving around too much. Then we got 2 harmony tracks, left and right. Over here, it's it's not the same singer. It's our guitarist singing the harmonies.
Vielleicht sind wir ein klein wenig anders als ihr. Ohne
I've already done almost, so I've almost done the same things here with the vocals. You can see it's almost the same plugins, just the EQ band isn't the same because it's another singer and he had another kind of voice and needed to be treated a little bit different in the EQs. Yeah, let's check them out so far.
Vielleicht sind wir ein klein wenig anders als ihr. Ohne
So sounding pretty good. The vocals are sung pretty well, I think. And we also added some specials with the vocals, some screams and tones. Let's check this one out. So just to fill in some gaps in the song. Yeah, and that's pretty much all of it, except for the groups. So I've routed one singer to the same group and the other singer to another group, and also put in the harmonies a little more in the back. You can see it's almost about 12 dB lower. And I've pushed around the mid-range here to bring it more up front. The same with the main singer. And also I thought here was something going on that I didn't like as well. Let's listen to it.
diese Zeit allem befreien.
Let's solo it. It's also some kind of hollow sound, and I've recognized it and decided to get rid of it. So also we are sending the vocals to some effects. We've got a vocal reverb here. It's the Valhalla reverb, almost some kind of the same as the acoustic guitar reverb. We got a vocal delay. This is something I saw from a producer who's doing a lot of pop music. So you're sending the vocals to the delay and sending the delay back to the reverb. And I've decided, I think he pulled it out completely, so you're only delaying the reverb itself. But I've decided to let some of the delay also through in the mix. So I'm a little bit more subtle with the reverb. So as you can see, it's also a pre-fader here. But I've decided to let some of it through. And also added some stereo delay here. And what is this? What is this? This is, I don't know. Let's see. Okay, yeah, it's a little shorter reverb, and I think this is a long reverb, and also got a stereo delay to give more room to the vocals. So we got a lot of space in this acoustic track, and I've tried to fill up the space with some reverb and delays. And then I was sending all the tracks and all the groups, final groups, to a master group. And here I've got my mastering already going on. This EQ here is just for simulating NS10 speakers. I've got the Kali in 8 wave 2 second wave. Yeah, they're pretty good for me, but I've learned that the mid-range is... I've struggled to get the mid-range right, and I've saw this trick. I don't know who told it. I think it was Chris Selim. And he said you can emulate the NS10 speakers that are almost mid-range, and this is by doing just... It's pretty simple. You're doing a low cut at 2 to 300 and a high cut at about 4K, and you switch it on and going to mix, and you switch it off and going to mix, and you switch it on and off in about 15 to 30 minutes or so. Yeah, really helps me a lot. I'm not turning it on right now because it's not necessary for the song itself. It's just for mixing purposes. This is the EQ I've done for my mastering. So I've added some low end, cut out some really low end. This is just rumble. I don't know if you can hear it. And I've added some of 144 because the low end on this track is pretty thin, and I've wanted to add some. I thought it was a little too thin. Pretty subtle moves. It's around half a dB at around 400, and yeah, almost 1 dB at 10K. But this EQ, even the moves are pretty subtle, is pretty effective. Check this out.
Diese Zeit könnt mich von allem befreien. Seid ihr dabei, bin ich laut, die Hand drauf, alle.
You can hear how it's getting full. It's getting pretty full just by these small moves here. So pretty effective. Small moves, effective mastering. Don't go over 3 dB in your EQ. Then fix it in the mix. Yeah, then I've added my hardware compressor. It's an Tegla Audio Cream. Let's see if I can show you these settings right here. You can see them right here. It's about yeah, 1.7, 1.8 ratio. It's on auto release. It's got a pretty fast attack, and I think I'm about 2 dBs of gain reduction.
Diese Zeit könnt mich von allem befreien.
So you can't really see it on this meter. It's a little small, but I can see it here in real. It's about 2 dB of gain reduction. And I've also added the Pultec EQ style. The Pultec style EQ here. I've boosted around 40 Hertz here, and I've boosted around 14 kilohertz. You can see this right here, these ones. And I've done it before the compression. Let's see what it does.
Diese Zeit könnt mich von allem befreien.
So in my opinion, it's putting everything more together as a mix. Then I've added Flatline. That's a clipping tool.
Diese Zeit könnt mich von allem befreien.
So also pretty subtle, around 2 dB of gain reduction here. And then I've added the Ozone suite. Nothing fancy going on right here, just pushing over the imager a little bit to get some even more space. Can see I think these are pretty standard bands from a preset, Master Assistance. I don't know if I've added a preset and tweaked it by myself, but I think so.
Diese Zeit könnte mich von allem befreien. Seid ihr dabei, bin ich laut, die Hand drauf.
So you can hear it, it's pretty subtle. And then I've added a limiter.
Diese Zeit könnte mich von allem befreien.
So also the limiter is touching around 2 dB of gain reduction. That's totally enough. This song is pretty loud, pretty much space. These are measuring tools. They are not adding anything to that song. Yeah, and that's pretty much everything I've got for this song. Yeah, guys, I've hoped I could show you something you didn't know. And yeah, if you like it, if you see it, comment down just comment to the video. Pretty glad if you do it. Let me know if you like it. The song itself is being released in about, I don't know, 2 weeks or 3 weeks now with a video. Perhaps I'm going to link it down in the description when it's online. And yeah, check it out. And hope to see you soon. Try to give you more content. And yeah, so long. See you guys.